watching Star Trek, and Star Trek would come on, and it was like, you know, any television show that was on at that time, it was on and gone, and it was gone forever, because the home VCR was not even science fiction at that point. Nobody could imagine, you know, the number of reruns that they were going to be particularly awesome. You know, if you missed it, it was gone forever. So I think one of the Star Trek shows was preempted by a local sports game. So I wrote an irate letter to the station just so that they would know what their customers really wanted, because we were told to do that. And found myself being questioned by the FBI about my fan letter. It turned out that somebody else had written in, evidently threatening to bomb the station or something. And they took it seriously enough that they were like checking out all of what they got. Anyway, the poor FBI guy arrived at my home when I was not home, but my grandfather McMaster was. And he's this dour old gentleman who had not fallen all that far from his Scottish ancestry. They sent the guy off with a flea in his ear. good old grandpa. So he came and questioned me at my school. It was sort of baffling for me. I was extremely flattered that they thought I would be bright enough to build a bomb, and that, you know, that my student counselor had actually agreed with this possibility. They won't even let me take shot by my girl. And I ended up, you know, asking the FBI. I wrote a writer here. How did you get to be an FBI person? What do you have to do? You know, tell me about your job. And so, yeah, they left me and went on to presumably more fruitful suspects. But, I was a little traumatized by that. I don't think I've written another fan letter since.
Well, I was going on to other stuff, but that does actually bring in, any drawing on that experience with insects?
Not especially. There are, you know, if you've got characters, you want to give them something to do to test their character. You know, have characterization, you got to have plot, because the two fit together like this. You are what you do. What you are is what you do is never more true than in fiction. So if you want to display character, you have to give them the right kind of plot to do so. And, you know, you can, you know, depending on the plot, two men playing a chess game, you can find out which one is smarter, but not which one is braver. You know, two men running into a burning building might test both at once. Depending, you know, so your situations, you know, are molded around the needs of your own. My situations are molded around the needs of my characters, generally. What was the question? I've got no fun to characterization.
I'm thinking of a number of the times that you've had characters who are dealing with barrier and imperial security.
Yeah, all that
where
stuff.
imperial security has a tendency to, we're doing our job here, and we're just going to continue doing our job, even if it doesn't necessarily make any sense what we're doing at this time.
Yeah.
But this is our job, and we're just going to continue doing it.
There's a bit of that in every organization. I think, yeah, that's the three kinds of plots. You've got mystery plots, you've got spy plots or thriller plots, you've got military plots, you've got romance plots. So it's a fruitful source of, you know, sending characters out to give them intellectual and ethical challenges, Miles particularly. So, yeah, Insight was developed to be, you know, kind of, start off with the bad guys. And squinted at from a certain point of view, the entire Barrier series is sort of like regular fiction, but written from the point of view of the bad guys, in which they're all the good guys in their own eyes. You know, think of it that way. It doesn't bend your brain all that much. And so one of the standard properties of bad guys is they usually have, you know, scary intelligence agencies and secret police and so on. So I was playing into that, and playing into that sort of Russian feel of the place, you know, KGB type things. So there's a little of that strain in Insects as well. And then eventually it sort of gave me this loose umbrella for Miles to operate in, because he really doesn't get along in a regular military situation for various psychological reasons.